History Month, and in honor of Black History Month, I want to give you some recommendations of fantasy and sci-fi books written by Black authors. Starting off with one everyone should know, the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. This trilogy is amazing. The Broken Earth trilogy is like no other. N.K. Jemisin is a literary genius, and this is a mix of sci-fi and fantasy. It has 3 POVs, and the way that N.K. Jemisin writes is just like no other, and this is in this futuristic dystopian world, and it also touches on a lot of themes that we experience here in society: oppression, discrimination, but it is placed in this very interesting world. And I love the POVs. There's 3 different POVs. The first character being a Black woman with locks over the age of 40, and the diversity and the representation in this is phenomenal. I feel like any and everyone should read the 5th season, but I do think you should work your way up because this is not like an easy read. This is epic fantasy, and there is a lot of information that you are processing, and N.K. Jemisin does not hand out the information. She makes you work. She does a really good job at showing versus telling. So, build up to the 5th season, but this is one that every person should have in their catalog to read or has read. I'm currently reading her other series. Book 1 is called The Killing Moon, and my goal of this year is to read everything from N.K. Jemisin, her whole bibliography, because I love her writing. Immortal Dark by Tigist Girma. This is for my she's, my theys, my gays who love dark academia, vampires, and enemies to lovers. I personally didn't really I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. I think it's a good book. I'm excited to see what's going to happen in book 2, but I do see why so many people enjoy this story, because it gives that Vampire Diaries feel. And I don't want to give too much about it, but I do love that all of the characters are Black vampires, and there is these houses, and just think of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the show on Netflix, the remake, and Vampire Diaries. Those two came together to have this baby. Even if you don't plan on reading this book is worth purchasing for your catalog if you love beautiful books with beautiful covers. Now for something funny and spicy, I accidentally summoned a demon boyfriend by Jessica Cage. Again, she is another writer that I am trying to read all of her bibliography. This is funny, this is hilarious, but it also has the perfect blend of spice. And this is about this woman who has had very bad luck in her love life and does a spell to summon a boyfriend, and she accidentally summons a demon boyfriend. Need I say more? Looking for something fun and easy to read, then you need to read this. And the first chapter is called Booty Juice, and the author actually dedicated this book to women over 30, so I appreciate that. For my romantasy girlies who love romantic fantasy, Vicious Bonds by Shanora Williams. I have not stopped raving about this series. I love it so much. I love Willow. I love Cass. I love everything about it. And I love the spice. This is a adult, dark fantasy, romantasy, and it has everything that you are looking for in terms of fated mates, a mix between Peaky Blinders and Outlander. And the Willow, the FMC, is this beautiful dark-skinned woman with locks, and I love the representation in this story. It gives epic fantasy vibes, and the fact that this is Shanora Williams' first book into the fantasy genre, she is a talented writer, and this book is extremely underhyped. This should be under the bestsellers of romantasy, hands down, in the top 10. I'm not even joking. This is extremely well written for romantasy, and I have not stopped raving about it, and I will continue to rave about it because I want everyone to read this. If you love romantic fantasy, then you need to read Vicious Bonds immediately, and it's Black History Month, so if you're going to be reading romantasy, you need to be reading this and only this series, okay? The Raybearer Duology, amazing, by Jordan Ifueko. This is a YA fantasy with African mythology inspiration, and it has themes of found family. Like, I'm a sucker for the found family trope. It has themes of power and corruption, and there's political intrigue, there's a kingdom. And Tarisai the FMC is like one of my favorite FMCs for YA of all time. And The Maid and the Crocodile is her YA romance standalone. It is set in the world of the Raybearer duology, but it's 10 years in the future. So if you're just looking for a romance book, you can read The Maid and the Crocodile without reading the Raybearer duology, and vice versa. The Maid and the Crocodile is a mix of Beauty and the Beast and Howl's Moving Castle with a African twist to it. I really enjoyed this story. It was so cute and cozy. The FMC is disabled and there's a lot of queer representation, and this is just a beautiful, colorful story that I highly recommend. These are just some of the books that I have read written by Black authors, and my camera's dying, so I'm gonna probably do a part 2. If you are interested in more books that are in the sci-fi fantasy genre written by Black authors, let me know and I'll do another video, but I hope that you give these a try. And just a reminder, you should be reading books by Black authors all year round. You should be reading diversely all year round, reading books by marginalized groups, because if you truly care about representation, you will be investing in these authors so that we can get more beautiful, colorful books like the ones that I recommended today. Thank you so much for watching this video, and as always, please like, share, subscribe, and comment below, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.